Police Minister Bheki Cele will be delivering the quarterly crime stats at about midday. You can expect that live here on eNCA. Now, these are for crimes that are reported between January and March of this year. Now, during the previous quarter, the Police Minister announcing a 6.6% increase in murder cases. Well, let's try and look ahead to what we can expect. A man at the centre of all of this, crime analyst Dr. Chris de Kock, speaking to us here on eNCA from Pretoria. Hello to you, Doctor. It's always a pleasure speaking to you as we look ahead to the Minister's announcements at around midday today. Without having the actual numbers from the Minister as yet, what are you expecting?
Well, if I did an analysis of the previous 3 quarters, what we found is in the first quarter there was that absolute decrease of nearly 50% in all crimes in the first quarter because of the lockdown. Then with the easing of the lockdowns, as we moved away from the high levels of lockdown, the crime actually started to increase. Attempted murder, house robbery, and CIT robbery and truck jacking. And then in the third quarter, we even had more increases, as you have just referred to, a 6.6% increase in the third quarter in murder and an 8.7% increase in attempted murder. And even carjacking, it was a 7.4% increase, and CIT and truck jacking, massive increases. I think we can expect in this quarter, which will be released in the next few hours, we will see a further increase in murder. I expect a further increase in murder, even in attempted murder, carjacking, house robbery, maybe a small increase. I think there will be an increase in CIT and truck hijacking. Those two will increase definitely. There's one tendency which the police never release. You have to calculate it, and that is public street robbery. There, interesting, in the first quarter down with 44.6, then second quarter down with 22.7, and then the third quarter down with 13.7. I now expect it either to be down with a very small percentage or an increase on street robbery.
When we talk about street robbery, Dr. de Kock, are we talking about street muggings, people going up to victims and stealing wallets and cell phones? Just to be clear, is that what you're talking about?
The one that you referred to is more common robbery. Street robbery is an aggravated robbery. A firearm or a knife or another weapon is used. Usually in street robbery or in many of the street robberies, there is also injuries or death, fatalities.
Dr. Kock, I'm going to ask you...
I believe this specific crime category, street public robberies, contribute more to murder than many of our other crimes.
I was about to ask you, Dr. de Kock, to put your analyst hat on as far as not just looking ahead to increases and decreases. Why are you expecting murder and attempted murder, house robbery, and you mentioned a few others, to go up? And you've just beat me to the punch, haven't you? Suggesting this public street robbery could be linked to an increase in murder. Unpack that for me quickly, if you could.
I did an analysis once in Khayelitsha, where we found that, different from what people believe, we found that of all the dockets there, a third, the robbery aggravated dockets, a third of the robbery, of all the murder dockets, a third of the murder dockets was as a result of street robbery. So people killed during street robbery. Another third of the murder cases were actually a reaction of the community on the street robberies. They feel the police can do nothing, so they take action themselves, vigilante action. And then a third were the social and other kinds, gang-related and so forth. So I believe that many bodies are being picked up every day. And they are actually the result of people going late from a restaurant or place where they work to the poorer people using public transport. And on their way home, they are killed. You know, only about 55% of our murder dockets, we don't know the motive. But my view is, and all my analysis indicate to me, that street robbery is actually contributing a lot to murder. And that's why I expect an increase in murder, attempted murder, and even a small one in street robbery.
That is a fascinating view as far as murder docket motives are concerned. It doesn't address the motive, just the body count in the end. Dr. de Kock, it's always such a pleasure speaking to you. I'm sure we're all going to be watching the announcement. I'm sure you more than anyone from the police minister. The quarterly crime statistics is what we're talking about. It's going to be taking place at midday, 12 o'clock. You can watch it live here on eNCA once it gets underway. My thanks to crime analyst Dr. Chris de Kock from Pretoria.